morning, everyone. On behalf of the students, faculty, and staff of East Georgia State College, welcome to our Fall 2016 commencement. The ceremony is being recorded so each graduate will be able to share it with family and friends. If you would, please remain standing as Mr. Gilbert Westbury, Minister of Music at First Baptist Church of Swainsboro and a member of the music faculty at East Georgia State College, sings God Bless America. Mr. Westbury will then deliver our invocation.
And the words to the refrain part of that are on the back of your program, and you are cordially invited to join me in singing that when we get to that part. While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair, as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer. God bless America, land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the ocean, bright with hope. God bless America, home sweet home. God bless America, home sweet home. Loving Creator, we invoke your presence with us this day. You created this beautiful and complex world in which we live. You created us and gave us minds that are capable of sophisticated learning, minds that are capable of developing new ideas to make our world a better place. And you created this very special day, December 10th, 2016, a day of graduation, a day of sweeping emotions. Some are happy today that this portion of their academic journey is successfully completed. Some are sad to be leaving friends made during their years here at East Georgia State College. Others are excited and maybe even a little apprehensive about what the future holds as they begin new chapters in their lives. And we readily admit that the emotion of the day is one of pride. We are proud this morning. We're here to celebrate a milestone in the life of someone we care about. Thank you for the families and the many others who have sacrificed and provided encouragement and financial resources to see these graduates to this joyous moment. Thank you for the professors and administrators who have challenged, cared, and crafted these students along their academic journey. Thank you for fellow students who have taught these graduates about friendship, collaboration, and sharing. And while it's tempting to get caught up in today, help us to be mindful of the many tomorrows yet to come. As these graduates move on to new ventures, give them the courage, focus, and clarity they need to find their purpose in this increasingly turbulent world in which we live. Let them know the rich satisfaction, not of merely making a living, but of living a life that is full and deep. Help them to stay true to their dreams, to use their gifts wisely, and to walk into the future with indeed great hope. Help them to discover ways to overcome the ignorance and prejudice running rampant in our society. Especially right now, in this next hour, may hearts and lives be filled with joy and gratitude. Amen. You may be seated.
Thank you, Mr. Westbury. We hope you have all enjoyed the outstanding music this morning provided by our pianist Susan Westbury and by our brass quartet composed of Bill Sasser, Jonathan Scott, Charles Lawrence, and Robert Agress. We are honored to have talent like this in our East Georgia State College community, and we deeply appreciate your contribution to our commencement ceremony each semester. Thank you. In addition, our student marshals, Brannon Braddock and Kayla Granger, and our student ushers are listed on the last page of your program. Thank you also to these individuals for participating in this commencement and making today a special and memorable one for our graduates and their supporters. Please join me now in thanking all of these musicians and students for their special contribution with a really warm round of applause. If you look at the graduates for a moment right now, you'll see that some are wearing academic insignia in recognition of their special achievements. Green tassels adorn the mortar boards of our graduates who are receiving the Associate in Arts degree. Green, gold, and white tassels adorn the mortar boards of our graduates receiving the Certificate of Accomplishment in the Work Readiness Skills program. We call that program Choice. Gold cords signify honor graduates. These are students who have a 3.5 cumulative GPA or higher. Cum laude graduates are 3.5 or higher. Magna cum laude is 3.8 or higher, and some are summa cum laude, 3.9 or higher. You'll notice that there are some students wearing medallions. These are our G2 squared graduates. That means get to graduation in 2 years. It signifies exactly what it says, completion of the associate degree within 2 years. Gold and blue cords signify membership in Beta Iota Beta. That is East Georgia's chapter of the Honor Society Phi Theta Kappa. We have some active or retired military, and those students have navy-colored cords. Black cords signify participation in our African American Male Initiative. Our East Georgia State College ambassadors, many who greeted you at the doors today as you came in, wear purple, green, and gold cords. Finally, service to our community is part of who we are at East Georgia State College, and a service seal of distinction is presented to those students who volunteered and acted as models for building a culture of service by encouraging others to serve. Graduates, there's very few days in a lifetime that are as special as the one that you're experiencing today. As we begin this momentous ceremony, take a deep breath and enjoy the moment. You have earned it. Silently think about a special moment where you learned something really important at East Georgia State College. Smile. Commit that moment to memory. Also, make a silent commitment to yourself to say thank you today to the many people who are here who helped you get to this point in your life. And then when you go home tonight, dream in vivid colors about the incredible and exciting future that awaits you. Congratulations. Families and supporters of the graduate, earning a college degree in the United States is something that is really special. Only about 1/3 of adults in the United States right now earn a college credential like these students are doing today. As you participate in this ceremony and you help these students get here, you deserve to take great pride in your student as they enter this Academy of Scholars. Now, at practice yesterday, the graduates and I had a discussion, and we talked about the fact that today's ceremony is an initiation into that worldwide Academy of Scholars. These students have earned our respect, and this is a solemn occasion worthy of decorum and order to show them the respect that we have for them. Now, there's lots of long-standing traditions at a ceremony like this, and they're important. There are things like robes and hats, hoods, medallions, a gonfalon, and a mace. These are traditions that we're observing today, and they're observed the world order all over the world at other commencement ceremonies. And I really want to emphasize that the reason for all these trappings are to demonstrate our respect for the accomplishments of these outstanding students. Now, at this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our alumni speaker, Mrs. Tabitha Ross, who is the registrar here at East Georgia State College. Mrs. Ross is joined today at this ceremony by her daughter, Sierra. Sierra, thank you for being with us today. Tabitha began her career at East Georgia State College back in 2007 as a records coordinator, and she was promoted shortly following that. Following a short detour from her work in the registrar's office to go over and help out the athletics director, she returned to the registrar's office in 2015 as the assistant registrar. Tabitha was appointed as the permanent registrar for East Georgia State College in June of this year. She has an Associate of Arts degree right here from East Georgia State College and a Bachelor of Science degree in biology from Georgia Southern. She's on her way to her master's degree in higher education administration, and will complete that degree next summer. She and her husband, Michael, live here in Swainsboro. They've got 2 dogs, Tebow and Bella, and more importantly, they've got 2 amazing daughters, Sierra and Madison. Please join me in a warm East Georgia State College welcome for Mrs. Tabitha Ross.
Good morning, graduates, faculty, special guests, family, and friends. I know it sounds cliche, but today is a day of celebration. Celebration of your first step in reaching all of your academic and professional goals. 6 years ago, I was in your shoes, waiting patiently on my opportunity to cross the stage and receive my diploma. I was nervous, excited, sad, and overjoyed all at the same time. I was nervous because I had to climb up 3 steps, cross the wooden floor, and then down 3 steps. And as my husband says, I'm more of a danger to myself than anyone else most of the time. I was excited because this was it, the big moment I had waited for. I was a first-generation college graduate, and to me, it was a big deal. My parents thought so too. I was sad because I had met amazing classmates along the way. We struggled through Dr. Brianna Simmons' microbiology class in the summer, in the evening, and we feverishly pored over notes about how to balance equations in Dr. Serpovitz's Principles of Chemistry class. But we wouldn't be doing that anymore. We would make new friends and we would solve new problems. I was absolutely overjoyed because my 2 daughters were sitting in the auditorium and watched as their mom received a college degree. Although they were only 9 and 8 at the time, they understood the challenges I faced of working 40 hours a week and finding time to study for exams or write essays, all the while trying to be a good mom. That day, I proudly walked across the stage to receive that life-changing piece of paper, crying the whole time. Today, I want to take you back, so close your eyes. Go ahead, close your eyes. All right, to your very first day of classes here at East Georgia State College. Can you remember what you were wearing, what class you were sitting in, who was the professor? I want you to think about the friends you've met along the way. Are they here beside you earning a degree, or did they transfer on to a 4-year institution? I want you to think about your most favorite professor. What did they teach you? Again, I know Dr. Simmons taught me the value of glycolysis, and of course, only a science geek can understand the value there. I know that Dr. Dana Neville taught me it's okay to have a love-hate relationship with Molière and Kafka. I mean, who really understands the importance of a story like Metamorphosis? I want you to think about your most memorable moments as an East Georgia State College student. Was it the duct tape boat race? Let's face it, there's nothing more exciting than watching your classmates sink in a cardboard boat. Or was it sharing a cup of coffee with a classmate as you pored over notes for a final exam? Now open your eyes. These experiences have shaped you into the EGSC graduate you become today. As you leave here, let those experiences have an impact on you wherever you go from here, whether it's the workforce, a 4-year university, or a technical program. Remember, with these experiences, you've gained an extended family as you are promoted to an EGSC alum. When you made the decision to pursue a college degree, you began writing one of the most important chapters in your book on life. According to a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt, people grow through experience if they meet life honestly and courageously. This is how character is built. Make sure from here on out, no matter where you go, your pages of the book on life are filled with memorable and rewarding experiences. Best wishes and congratulations.
Each one of these graduates knows how deeply proud I am of each one of them. We have amazing students here at East Georgia. One of those amazing students is Akira Sutton. She is joined today at this ceremony by her sister, EGSC, who's also a graduate of East Georgia State College. EGSC, it's great to have you back. Thank you. Akira is the Student Government Association Vice President. She's in her second year. She's an English major and will graduate this spring. She's going to go on and become an editor or a research writer, and it's a real honor to have Akira Sutton as our student speaker this morning. Please welcome her.
Good morning, everyone. It is an honor to speak to you on behalf of the student body today. The great Dr. Seuss said, "How did it get so late so soon? It's night before it's afternoon, December before it's June. My goodness, how the time has flown. How did it get so late so soon?" Can you believe that it's graduation time already? I'm sure it seems just like yesterday you were entering East Georgia State College and going to that first psychology class with Professor Brady, or entering government and listening to Professor Carty give the 13th grader speech. Oh, and don't forget about Billy Bob Bumpkin, because he was great. And now, we're here at graduation. You have within you everything you need to reach your limitless potential. You have the courage of convictions to challenge boundaries and obstacles that stand in your way. You have the passion to dream wildly. You have heart to cherish closely, and the strength of character to honor your word. And as you go out into the world, remember, it all started here at East Georgia State College. Walt Disney once said, "We keep moving forward, opening new doors, and doing things because we're curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths." I hope today is everything you hoped it would be. While the future may be unpredictable and somewhat scary, one thing will always remain constant. You are and always will be a Bobcat. East Georgia State College will always be rooting for you and your future. Kirby Smart says, "It's time to attack today." Go out and attack every obstacle you face and never forget where it all started, here at East Georgia State College. Congratulations, graduates.
At this point, I'd like to take a quick point of privilege to recognize a couple of individuals quickly. I was surprised this morning when Dr. Bob Brown, former Dean of the School of Math Science, honored us by coming back to Swainsboro for graduation. And Dr. Brown, please stand up and let us recognize you. It's a great honor to have you here. Also, this morning, right before all of you folks walked in for the ceremony, Dr. Tim Goodman made an announcement. He announced that after a short 43 years in the university system of Georgia, he's going to take a very well-deserved opportunity to retire at the end of this year, at the end of spring semester. And I'd just like to personally thank Dr. Goodman and his wife Cheryl for all of those short 43 years of service. Let's give Dr. Goodman and Cheryl, would you please rise? A round of applause and appreciation. Now we're privileged to have this morning Professor Randy Carter as our commencement speaker. And the most important thing I can say in my introduction of Mr. Carter is that It's our tradition at East Georgia State College that the fall semester commencement speaker is chosen by the students. And it's a very high honor, I believe, when students make the choice for one of their faculty members to be selected as commencement speaker. Professor Carter, congratulations. Professor Carter received his bachelor's degree from MUW in Mississippi. He went on after that and earned his master's in public policy and administration from Mississippi State University and did doctoral work in political science at the University of Alabama. He began teaching at Shelton State Community College in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, as an instructor of American government. And then he went on to teach at the University of Alabama, Gainesville College here in Georgia, Piedmont College up north in Georgia, Reinhardt College over in Waleska, and South Georgia College. He then went on to Johns Hopkins University up in Baltimore, Maryland, as an instructor of geopolitics at the Center for Talented Youth. He came to us in 2000, and in 2010 was named as an assistant professor of political science. He's a member of the Georgia Political Science Association, the American Association of Political Scientists, the American Society for Public Administration, and the Institute for Humane Studies. He has presented many scholarly papers, and he's working right now on a paper entitled The 6 P Words to Explain How Government Functions or Fails to Do So. Power, politics, party, public policy, public option, and public program. We're honored to have Professor Carter as a member of the East Georgia State College faculty, and as he walks to the podium, please join me in welcoming him to this commencement ceremony.
Thank you, Dr. Bowmer. I'm prepared. I got my notes here. First thing I want to say is congratulations to all of you. I know it was not always a smooth ride, but I could not be any more proud of you, and this is a wonderful honor. And I want to say to you, I really take pride in the fact that you chose me among this faculty, because I think, and I'm talking to the rest of the faculty now, I think the students can attest to you, we have the best faculty in the University of Georgia system. Am I right about that? I really believe that. I really do. Okay. Right, two things. I ask everybody before I spoke today. I came to the faculty and I came to the students and said, well, what should I do to give this speech? Just one thing. And the responses were almost unanimous. The faculty said, keep it short. And I've been there. I know we've had to sit through some long-winded graduation speakers, so I will not be a long-winded graduation speaker, I assure you that. Then I came to the students. And for the last 8 years, I've had on my door what I call an integrity shrine. We talk about it, and I said, would you talk about that? And so I'm going to try to do a little bit of both. I'm going to keep it short, and we're going to talk a little bit about integrity here. Is that okay with everybody if we do that today? Okay. The title of this lecture is, Let's Make East Georgia College Great. Wait a minute, that's not the right speech, I'm sorry. We already are great. Now, we want to continue that. By the way, I saw some people out here today I've not seen here for years from East Georgia College, East Georgia State College. Welcome back. And I hope you will support the college, pray for the college. Let's pray for these young people and keep them in our thoughts as they go on. Okay, what do we need to know about integrity? Well, integrity is one of those words like the P words. Now, I would like the people who had me for class to raise their hands. How many of you got sick and tired of the P words by the time to think? Just go be honest about it, right? Because I sure get sick and tired of them. These are the words that you have to know to understand politics. First one is power. Now, we have a very short definition of power. It's the ability to get someone to do something you would not do otherwise. Do you remember that at least? All right, what is politics? It's the pursuit, acquisition, and retention of power. Those are the only two we're going to talk about today. Because this is what you have to keep in mind. Even though politics is an inherent part of American government, it's everywhere in your life. Every relationship that means anything to you at some point in time is political, because there's going to be conflict with people you love. Is that true? And the way you resolve that conflict is, by definition, politics. Now, what is the one thing, the center you have to have in your life? It's integrity. Now, I thought about this when I came in here. I said, what is a good definition of integrity? I've been told all my life to do this, don't do this, don't do this because of integrity. Have any of you ever heard that speech? I heard it from the time I was a child. And I often thought, well, what is integrity? And there's really not a good textbook definition of integrity. There are elements of integrity. There are honesty. It's doing the same thing, being reliable over and over again, and it's who you are. We're in a beautiful gymnasium here that was built right after I came here, and it stood the test of time. It's just as pretty today as it was when I came here. All the buildings on this campus are beautiful. Any visitors who come to this campus talk all the time about the architecture. Whoever was responsible for that should get a pat on the back, because this is a beautiful physical structure. But the college is not the buildings, it's the people who are here. If you look around here on this is a beautiful building, but look in the roof. Kind of an ugly skin up there. You see that? Those are the braces. What do they give to this building? That's the integrity. Now, we also talked in the class about the philosopher Plato. He said, what you see is not what you get. There's an unseen, perfect idea of perfect forms. In all of us, that's our integrity. It's who we are. It makes us strong. It gives us peace. It gives us guidance. And it gives us direction. Now, I really don't know how to define it, because I think it's something that we all have to do within ourselves. So what I'm going to talk about today a little bit, just very shortly, is sources of integrity. Where do you find it? How do you apply it? The challenges to your integrity. And we're going to look at it as the core value of leadership. And then we're going to do the more important things, which is to let you come get your degree. After all, that's why we're here today, for you. So let's look at sources of integrity. If anybody tells you do this or do that, and you have a moral dilemma, and you don't know what to do, where do you look to? Your integrity. Well, where do I find it? Well, one of the great social contract philosophers we discussed in class was John Locke. Locke was a proponent of natural law. He said, it's already here. How do you know the law is already here? It's here just like electricity. Remember the question I asked you in class? I said, who invented electricity? Nobody invented it. It's been here since time memorial. It had to be discovered, then it was applied, and it was used, right? And the same thing is true with natural law, according to Locke. It's everywhere. It's in your classes, it's in books, it's in friendships, it's in all your relationships, it's in all your experiences. You just have to seek it out and find it. It's biblical. My favorite Bible verse is, "Seek and ye shall find." But if you study the canon of Western philosophy, and a lot of you have, I'm sure you studied Immanuel Kant. Kant had what was called his categorical imperative. He basically took the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. In other words, treat people the way like you would like to be treated, right? And then treat them a little bit better. Now, if you did that, would we need a big government, or could we live with a limited government? Pete, think about that question, because people would take care of themselves. So just try to do that. This is what Robert Ringer, in a book called Winning Through, of all things, Intimidation, which I don't encourage, by the way, but he said you have to create value in your life. Every day you do something, you help somebody else. How do you find this? You have windows of opportunity sometimes in your experience just to extend extemporaneous kindness to others. Now, you don't always get these opportunities. They come along, not a whole lot, but it's not a hard thing to do. And if you can recognize that, that puts integrity in your bank of personal capital. And your personal capital is just as important as the capital you have in your bank account. It empowers you, and it's built up over time. It's part of wisdom. You find it in books. Don't ever lose your thirst for reading books, because things will jump off the pages at the least expected time. That's knowledge, and it adds to your bank of integrity. And it really makes you feel good when you do it. Then you ask yourself, how can I use my integrity, not for myself, but to help others? And by doing that, you're creating value every day. And if you do that, you're not only helping yourself, you're helping your community, you're helping your church, you're helping the country, whatever it is, whatever organization you're involved in. Just pick other people up. We talked about that, the freshmen, the first day we came in, and it's a lecture we always give to the sophomores about the freshmen who come in and are a little bit lost. When you were a sophomore, you knew you were going to make it, right? Well, not only look out for yourself, but find somebody who is a, quote, Akira, please forgive me, a 13th grader, and then what should you do? Try to pick them up and show them the right way. Try to do that. That's all part of it. Now, another source of integrity, your friends. I am so thankful for the time that I've been here, and I really mean this. I have made some great friendships in the time that I've been here at East Georgia State College. I like to think everybody on this faculty is my friend. Of course, I have some who are closer friends than others, and you need those people. You find integrity in those people. You find inspiration in those people, and you need that. Now, I'm not talking about Facebook friends. Does everybody understand that? I think, as you all know in here, I could do an hour rant on Facebook. Albert Einstein had a quote. He said, he rued the day that technology surpassed human interaction, because on that day we will have raised a generation of idiots. Dr. Palumbo made a comment to me one day, and I thought about it, and he was right. Phones are smarter than people. Is that true? If it's not, are we getting there? So here's what you've got to do. Get out of your Facebook bubble. Get out of the social media bubble. I'm not sure I can tell you all the places to find integrity, but I can tell you for sure there is none in there. Break out and see the universe, see the world, have a worldview. Read books. Now, here's the next thing I want to say about this. We all talked about technology, culture, and politics in the class and how they're interdependent variables. I hope I'm not stepping on anybody's feet here when I say this, but I am not a fan of online learning. And here's why. I think there is integrity in that classroom that you cannot get over a wire. There is something about the Socratic method, something about conversation that needs to be, and a shout out to the people in the humanities and the social sciences, and I'm not dissing the physical sciences because in a lot of ways I think you're more important than both of us. But you develop your mind studying the canon of philosophy. Then if you want to add the Bible to it, that is a wonderful thing to do. So I would encourage everybody else to do this. Whether you're religious or not, read the Bible. There's a lot of intellect there. I discovered this years ago. I taught a class in political theory, and something just dawned on me as I was teaching this class. Where do I see all the ideas of the great philosophers also? You find them in the scriptures of the Holy Bible. Nobody has ever done this study that I've ever seen, but I thought it would be an interesting study. If you took a timeline of all of the great ideas of Western civilization, you could probably line them up with scripture somewhere in the Holy Bible. And it's just an interesting thing to know, and it will help you grow intellectually. There's a lot of integrity there. That will guide you. Now, I was going to talk about challenges to integrity. I had events, circumstances, difficult people, bureaupathology. There. We're not going to talk about that. Let's talk about the benefits of integrity. The first one, your integrity will empower you. So if you do run across difficult people or difficult situations, when you've built integrity over time, people know that. It will grant you peace in times of trouble. If you don't believe it, read and study Dietrich Bonhoeffer, Alexander Solzhenitsyn, Anne Frank. There is a spiritual and a metaphysical element to integrity that I cannot talk about, but it's there. And at your lowest point, it will rescue you. It will reveal itself, and you will be thankful. I promise you, you'll do that. Now, very quickly, let's talk about most of you in here, and again, I want to express how proud I am. You're going to be leaders. You're going to be leaders probably whether you like it or not. But at some point, you are a leader. Now, there are some pitfalls of leadership. I did my master's degree. I don't claim to know a whole lot, but I did study a little bit about leadership. And the one thing that always stuck at me was the one thing that is indispensable is what? That is integrity. You have to have it. You have to be honest. You have to be forthright. Here's the problem if you're a leader. We live in a zero-sum society, and you're going to have to make decisions. And these decisions are going to please some people, and they're not going to please other people. And when you do that, you're going to have to spend some political capital to do that. The key to being a leader is keeping a positive balance in that account. Now, when you accede to a certain position, you have a certain amount of power, and with that goes what Weber called legal rational authority, but you have your charisma, your personal integrity. Every time you have to make a political decision, what's going to happen to that account? It will be debited. So you're going to have to keep a positive amount of capital in that account. So just by acting with integrity, extemporaneous acts of kindness, thoughtfulness, the way you treat other people, every time you do that, you make a deposit into that account you might have to spend down the road. Now, this is the most important element of a leader, and I think it's the biggest shortcoming we have. You have to listen. Someone comes to you, you must listen. Don't wait to talk, but listen. Does everybody understand the difference in that? How many of you do this? Do you ever get frustrated? You're trying to explain to somebody your side of a position or why you think the way they think, and they're not listening because what are they waiting to do? Talk. So be a listener. It's okay to be a talker, but be a listener first. Think about what you hear and then digest it and say, okay, but then you can say, but have you ever considered this, the following aspect, and create a dialogue. It doesn't need to be a one-way street. Okay. In the interest of brevity, because we got more important things to do. You, right? Okay. I brought some integrity quotes in here. I keep these, and I'll make a copy for anybody who wants them. But I was going to read them. But I want to see you walk across this stage, so I'm going to put it over here in the other pile over here, okay? Is that agreeable with everybody if we don't do that? Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I am going to ask you to indulge me one thing, though, because I want to share a personal experience I had with you when I was a child. I did something, let me just say, I'm not very proud of it. Do any of you remember the first time you disappointed your mom or your dad and you knew it and the shame that that brought to you and how it made you feel? I was in the Cub Scouts, and I finished second in the Pinewood Derby, if you all know what that is. And I was mad because I'm going to tell you to this day, and I'll just say this too. I want you to keep in touch. Look, please, compete in sports. And if you play, what do you play to do? What do you play to do? Win. If you're not going to play to win, don't play. And if you have children and a league wants you to enroll them in a league where you don't keep score in the soccer game, run as far away from that league as you can, because that's part of growing up and that's part of your integrity. So I competed in the Pinewood Derby. And we finished second. Well, that wasn't good enough for me, of course, was it? We had to win. So the kid who won dropped his car and broke his wheel. I was 8 years old, and I was ecstatic. Why? This makes me the winner. And I told my dad that. Now, how proud of he was he of me for that? He took me home. He didn't spank me. He did something worse. He made me read the poem If by Rudyard Kipling. So this goes to my dad and to everybody here too. If you'll indulge me, can I read this poem to everybody in here? Would it be okay if I did? Thank you. Okay. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and don't yet look so good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, I love that. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it in one turn, a pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long before they're gone, and to hold on when there's nothing in you except the will which says, hold on. You need your integrity there. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but not in too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute
With 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, which is more. You'll be a man, my son. So thank you, Dad, and thank you for letting me talk to you today.
Thank you, Professor Carter. In a moment, we're going to award the diplomas. Now, at yesterday's graduation practice, each of the graduates received a book of messages from faculty, staff, and other students. It's called A Word Before You Go. There was a message in there from the members of Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. It said, in part, as you prepare to walk across the stage, celebrate yourself and what makes you beautiful, including the amazing achievement of earning a degree from East Georgia State College. Now, that was the message from your fellow students and graduates. As you walk across the stage, ask you to keep that in mind. And family members and supporters of the graduates, students celebrating that really special moment is what we've gathered to come for today. It's your son, your daughter, your spouse, your parent, your relative, your friend walking across that stage with that diploma, celebrating that special moment. And at East Georgia, it's our tradition, and it's not a tradition at many places anymore, to call out each graduate's name as they walk across the stage and then give them that diploma individually. Now, that's a really joyous occasion, but it's one that really requires all of us as the supporters of these amazing students to show proper respect and decorum so that every one of these amazing students gets their moment in the sun. So everyone, on behalf of these amazing students, I ask you to all respect that as we award the diplomas. Now, not to worry, the graduates and I also had a conversation about celebrating after all of the diplomas are awarded, and they promised me, and I trust them, that they are not going to let me down. So we're going to, everyone, give each of these students their moment in the sun, and then we're really going to celebrate. So Dr. Goodman, could you join me at the podium?
Will the candidates for the degrees of Associate in Arts please rise? President Bomer, these candidates have completed all the coursework required for their degree and have been approved by the faculty. It is my distinct pleasure to present them to you for the conferring of their degree.
By the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I confer upon you the associate degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereunto. Please come forward and receive your diplomas.
Mara Jency Adams, cum laude. Jamari Rashid Baker. Talithia Latondra Bass. Sarah Lane Brooke Beasley. Taylor Lily Benton. Colin David Blackburn. Dashmon Chatrell Bolton. Asmond, excuse me. Jalen Monique Chin. Sierra Lee Clark, cum laude. Stephen Clark. Caitlin Irene Coleman. Rebecca Joy Cruz. Carly Jamison Daniels. Keith Brian DeLima. Maggie Beth Dees, cum laude. Tracy Lee Domedy. Jamaya Kenyatta DeBar. Chiquita Drusilla Durden. Wesley Bartow Edwards. Lacey Helen Fitzner. Taylor Lee Fiveash. Abby Lauren Forehand. Shahid Ahmad Foster. Maya Gabriel George. Kayla Ann Goins. Stephen Timothy Gomez, cum laude. Samantha Claire Griffin. Taylor Brooke Griner. Kimberly Suzanne Hamilton, magna cum laude. April Lachey Harden, cum laude. Agent Vanessa Harris, cum laude. Mary Elizabeth Hart, cum laude. Trayvon Harvey. Hannah Nicole Hobbs. Brandon Alexander Hippolyte. Sterling Nathaniel Irvin. Danielle Jeloni Johnson. Marquisha Cherie Johnson. William Cott IV, summa cum laude. Logan Paul Lanier, cum laude. Alan Lamont Littles. Ayana Shatira Lloyd. James Edward Mack, cum laude. Melissa Danae Martin, cum laude. Tamara Cherie Martin. Kenneth Earl McClendon, Service Seal of Distinction recipient. Tamaria Denise Melvin. God's Time Chima Norum. Emmanuel A. O'Rourke Jr. Christy Elizabeth Patterson. Kelly Elizabeth Peel, cum laude. Joshua Lawrence Peeler. Brenna Denise Phillips. Darius Robert Pryor. Noelia Ramirez. Yana Rickner. Mariah Nicole Riley. Jordan Ashley Robbins, summa cum laude, Service Seal of Distinction recipient. Carlos Lynn Rooks, Jr. Belinda Crump Ruffin. Frankio Renisha Ruffin. Macy Brooke Rushing. Miranda Christine Russell. Brandon Michael Anthony Shoemaker. Tiffany Renee Scipio. Dalton Zachary Scott. Tiana Simone Scott. Tarona Aliyah Searles. Amber Blair Solomon. Caleb Christian Taunton. Laura Lee Todd. Jessica Nicole Tyson. Taylor Michelle Wood. Barbara Samuels Woodson. Courtney Simone Wynn. Will the candidates for the Certificate of Accomplishment in Work Readiness Skills please rise? President Bomer, these candidates have completed all the coursework required for their certificate and have been approved by the faculty. It is my distinct pleasure to present them to you for the conferring of their certificate.
These are our first three graduates from this new and very special program. By the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I confer upon you a certificate of accomplishment with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereunto. Please come forward and receive your certificates.
Ron Bright, Service Seal of Distinction recipient. Casey Lee Hayes, Service Seal of Distinction recipient.
Certificates, please rise. It is a long-standing tradition that after receiving a post-secondary degree, the cap tassel is shifted from the right side to the left side of the cap. This signifies to everyone the completion of the degree. Graduates, please move your tassels. Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, I present to you the Fall 2016 graduating class of East Georgia State College. Graduates, turn up. Graduates, your family and friends who helped and supported you as you earned your degree have extended their congratulations to you. It's now fitting that you recognize them for the support they've given you over the years. Let's do that. Graduates, also the remarkable faculty and staff who led you on this educational journey that you've completed today have come to, in their academic regalia, to honor you. Let's recognize them with your applause for their incredible effort and dedication. As we bring this ceremony to a close, I again remind you of the booklet that you were given yesterday, A Word Before You Go. Let's close the ceremony by listening to the words put in that book by one of our faculty members, Dr. Dee McKinney. She said, "One of my favorite authors is J.K. Rowling. Over the past 15 years, she has delighted children and adults worldwide with her wisdom via the world of Harry Potter. This quote to me sums up what life is like after you reach the milestone of graduation. It's impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might not well have lived at all, in which case you fail by default. So go forth and be bold. Don't be afraid to try new things. Refrain from being shy about challenges. These are the essence of what makes us as humans grow." Dr. McKinney finishes simply by saying, "Congratulations and the best of luck in your new journeys." We all feel that way. Following the singing of our alma mater in the recessional by the faculty, staff, and students, please join us, and I mean everyone, please join us for a reception to honor the graduates. Now, it's another tradition here at East Georgia State College that immediately following this ceremony, the faculty and the staff are going to form a corridor outside, right outside the main entrance to this building, and the graduates, as they exit, will walk through that corridor, and then they're going to walk right over to the Gene Anderson Morgan Student Center. I'd ask all of you just simply to follow them right across the street, and that'll take you right to the Gene Anderson Morgan Student Center for the reception. Thank you all for joining us today in this marvelous celebration. Will the audience now please rise and join the graduates? Mr. Westbury is now going to lead us in the singing of the East Georgia State College alma mater. The words are in the back of your program.